Good morning. It is a privilege for me to be addressing this gathering of smart city and urban infrastructure stalwarts. I truly believe that the efforts put in by the Government of India in fostering development of urban India through various initiatives such as Smart Cities Mission, Amrut, Housing for All, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana shall put growth and opportunity at the heart of development. Yes Bank is pleased to partner Businessworld at this highly important Smart Cities Conclave. We are committed towards partnering the government in actualizing its vision of developing smart cities and urban infrastructure. We are already engaged with a lot of smart cities and we are providing them banking and advisory services. Well, cities are economic, intellectual, and cultural engines. The mission provides each shortlisted city immense opportunity to invest in infrastructure and expand its capacity to optimize resources and provide new opportunities for socio-economic development, at the same time leading to employment generation. I think conserving the way, if we see the way our cities have traditionally developed, there is an old city which is there, which has been the cultural center, and then there is a new city which is developed, which is the industrial center. And there is a divide between these two cities. I think we're talking about a very delicate balance which needs to be maintained between the old city and the new city, and still giving people a holistic experience right from the culture of that city, the culinary experience of that city. Every city in India has its own cuisine, its own artisans, its own weavers, its own textiles. So I think the way we experience that whole city is going to, remain extremely crucial. And by the end of it, we should have a very holistic experience of a city that we visit. Technology, of course, coming back to technology or technology disruption, as we call it, I don't think it is really disruption. I feel it is more technology enablement. Technology is helping us to make everything more transparent, everything is more efficient, and we are being able to really reach the beneficiaries wherever we want to reach. So the government is also being able to, do the last mile action more efficiently because of technology. And in those terms, I think, the bank, Yes Bank, and many technology companies are also trying to partner with the government to provide them solutions. And, believe me, every time we are going and meeting a municipal commissioner, we are being challenged by them that please give us something which is newer than what you have given the last municipal commissioner. So if I have given a smart city card to Nasik, I was this morning asked to give something better for anything more which I want to discuss any further. So, we are also being challenged, and I think that's good because it will help us also to innovate and come up with newer solutions, but that doesn't make the existing solutions bad. They are already a big step compared to where we are. So, a city like Nasik having a cashless solution for a whole experience in the city, from a restaurant to paying or for all your G2C services, property collection, property tax collection, to your parking charges, everything can be paid cashless through a cashless medium. I think that is a revolution in itself, considering that India is such a cash, it's been a cash economy all throughout. So some of these experiences, I think, going forward are what are really going to distinguish a smart city from another. And, we are also, principally we have seen that traditionally the only source of finance for ULBs has been Finance Commission or whatever grants they get from State Finance Commission and Finance Commissions. Their own revenue collection mechanism has been weak so far because of lack of transparency. Again, in India, there's so much pilferage which happens right from the parking charges. People who don't take receipts for goods and services which they are consuming are doing a huge disservice to the country. And this is something which I really want to say to each and every person here. We must encourage, and I'm really learning it from my children who now come back and tell me not to throw garbage out, or, to be more transparent in our working, or not to bribe. If my daughter is in the car, I can't jump the red light for sure. So, these kind of things, so if our children can learn it, I think surely we can also imbibe some of these things, which will help us to make a better India. We need to realize that all these collections eventually go back into developing the city. So if we are paying our property taxes, if we are paying our parking charges, then the city will have better facilities. There might still be some pilferage which happens, but let's try and minimize it as much as possible. And, and we are also trying to help at the same time ULBs to augment their own financial capacity, to come up with municipal bonds, to make their financial statements more SEBI compliant, governance compliant, so that they are able to tap into the market and raise resources for developing the city. Some municipalities, ULBs, are actually cash surplus. But if I look at the state of development in those cities, that really might not be, world class at the moment. So I think there's a huge responsibility which we are now putting on the government, saying that where you have cash surplus municipalities, at least in those regions, development should be showcased to the larger audience so that people are inclined to take on, development.